Welcome to Eynsford Castle. Join me on my tour of this rare example of an early Norman enclosure castle. Eynsford Castle is a ruined medieval fortification in Eynsford, Kent. The castle was constructed by William de Eynsford, probably between 1085 and 1087, to protect the lands of Lanfranc, the Archbishop of Canterbury, from Odo, the Bishop of Bayeux. It comprised an inner and an outer bailey, the former protected by a stone curtain wall. In 1130 the defences were improved, and a large stone hall was built in the inner bailey. The de Eynsford family held the castle until their male line died out in 1261, when it was divided equally between the Heringaud and de Criol families. A royal judge, William Inge, purchased half of the castle in 1307, and arguments ensued between him and his co-owner, Nicholas de Criol, who ransacked Eynsford in 1312. The castle was never reoccupied and fell into ruins, and in the 18th century it was used to hold hunting kennels and stables. The ruins began to be restored after 1897, work intensifying after 1948, when the Ministry of Works took over the running of the castle. This site is managed by English Heritage as a scheduled ancient monument, and public access is completely free during daytime hours. The curtain wall stands 9 meters high and is almost 2 meters wide at its base. The northwest segment of the wall has collapsed, but fragments of its remains can still be seen. The collapse exposed part of the low oval man-made mound inside. A concrete wall has since been erected to retain the mound. 3 openings in the curtain wall mark the remains of guardrobes or latrines, which discharged into the moat below. There would have been timber outbuildings between the guardrobes and the kitchen. A guardrobe is a historic term for a room or closet in a medieval castle that was used to store valuables, clothing, or as a toilet. In a medieval castle, a guardrobe was usually a simple hole discharging to the outside into a cesspit or the moat. Medieval toilets, just as today, were often referred to by a euphemism, the most common being privy chamber, just privy, or guardrobe. The hall building was constructed in the 12th century on the site of an earlier, possibly Saxon structure. External stairs led to the domestic accommodation on the first floor, comprising a hall used for eating and public business, and a solar, the domestic chamber. On the ground floor were 2 undercrofts, or cellars. The undercroft beneath the solar was a self-contained residential apartment with its own entrance, a well, guardrobe and fireplace. It would have been used by an important person, such as the bailiff of the castle. The undercroft beneath the hall would have served as storage space. At some point in the late 12th or early 13th century, a forebuilding was added to the hall to provide more rooms. After a fire in about 1250, repairs and improvements were made, which included the building of a new second kitchen to serve the private apartments and the hall. Well folks, I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of Eynsford Castle. It's a bit of a bleak, dull, damp day, but at least it's not raining. This castle is actually only 3 miles away from where I live, so it's the nearest castle to me, and I've been meaning to actually come out and video it for quite some time. I do occasionally sort of pop along here and walk around the surrounding area. So yeah, there's been no one else here. It's midweek and it is a ruin. So in the summer it gets a lot busier because obviously the sun shines out and people will even come in here and picnic. But it is a very, very interesting old castle. Right, well, shortly I'll be getting back to my more traditional videos, getting out and doing some winter walks. I've still got a couple of kayaking days out on the paddle planned for later this month and maybe into December. I'll see how that goes. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing and supporting me. If you're new to the channel, thank you for popping by, and I hope you are enjoying what you're watching. There's tons of videos there, quite an eclectic collection of videos now. So all that leaves me to say is I'll see you on the next video, and bye for now.